Welcome back, everyone. So today we're actually going to take a look at a homework question that someone had, and the reason I'm doing it is because I have no idea if we'll be able to get to it in time during class. So we'll just take a quick video to explain it here. And the one in particular that I want to look at is C here. So the problem itself seems simple enough. So evaluate each expression if x equals -2 and y equals -5. So really all this means is, well, wherever you see an x, plop in a -2. Wherever you see a y, you're going to plop in -5. But C does look kind of funky. And if you think so, well, I definitely think so too. So let's take a look. In C, I'm going to zoom in here. C says you take the square root of x squared, and then you add that to, again, when we see this little 3 here, when we say this, and let's say this is whatever's inside, then that just means the cube root. Something weird happened there. Oh, I'm frozen. What the heck? Okay, something froze there. I apologize. The cube root of whatever that smiley face thing is. Okay, well, another way to think about this would be, well, square root, taking the square root of something and squaring something are opposite or inverse operations, right? They kind of undo each other. And so one thing you might think to do is just to say x here. And likewise, the cube root of y cubed, the cube root and y cubed are opposites of each other as well. They undo each other. And you might just put y here. So if I did that, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but let's just say if I did that, then that would lead me to say x is -2 and y is -5 from the instructions. And so this would just be -7. So that looks pretty good, but so that's the first way to do it. The second way to do it would be to just plop every x and y in and then follow your order of operations. So let's actually do that. Alrighty? So I'm just going to replace x. Now again, x is -2. So I'm going to always use parentheses when I'm substituting. -2 squared plus, the cube root of, let's see, -5 cubed. And now this is why I need parentheses here, because if I slide down here, -2 squared, again, remember that's -2 times -2, which is +4. And so that would mean on the left there, I have the square root of 4. Let's see, -5 cubed, that'd be just 3 -5s multiplied together. So let's see. This is maybe, you might be able to do this one in your head, but if not, let's see. Negative and -5, +25. Multiply that by one more 5. So the way I think of this is, I have 5 quarters, and if I have 5 quarters, then I have $1.25. So that's usually how I think of it, 125 cents. But also remember, it's +25 times -5, so that should be a -125. So now I have the cube root of -125. Okay, there's something very important here. So actually, we can do this one real quick. The cube root of 125, again, the cube root of 125, -125, is some number. Like, I'll just call that number stick person. And it's the magic number that if you take 3 of those stick people and multiply them together, we should get -125. What number is that? The thing is, we actually just did that. So actually, the cube root of 125 is actually right here. And so the cube root of -125 is really just -5 there. But if we take a look at the square root of 4, and when we say the square root here, this really means, well, what happens when you throw it into your calculator? If you ask someone what the square root of 4 is, or ask Mr. Calculator what the square root of 4 is, they're not going to give you 2 answers. They're not going to give you 2 and negative 2. They're only going to give you positive 2. The reason this is the case is because this thing actually is asking for, because it doesn't specify that it wants both, this is really what we call the principal square root. I actually don't know if it's LE or AL. Is it my friend or is it not? That's how I remember how to spell principal, like your principals, or like your principal, like the principal of your school. In this case, I think it's LE. It makes more sense, but I'm actually not sure. But that just means, again, the positive square root, the positive version. So actually, this is what we want right here. And so our final answer should be negative 2 plus 5 or negative 3.